Hey everyone, my name is Rock. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is the top 5 places to land and loot up in Realm Royale. Be sure to check out my other top 5 video, the top 5 realm skins. Link to that will be down in the description below. Before we start, I just want to say that this video will be compiled based solely on my opinions from playing hundreds of games of Realm Royale, both on console and PC. Be sure to like this video if you want more along these lines, and subscribe if you're new around here. Let's get right into the countdown. Number 5, Frozen Cemetery. The looks and aesthetics of Frozen Cemetery are less than desirable. However, the amount of chests and possible good loot is massive. There's over 20 chests in this tiny area, making the chances of finding a decent weapon pretty good. That, combined with the fact that usually only 3 or 4 other players land here, means you can loot up, get a few shards from eliminating enemies, get a quick forge done, and move on to the mid to late game with a winning loadout. Made the choice for me to put Frozen Cemetery at number 5. This is our countdown's number 5 spot, Frozen Cemetery. Tons of chests here, tons. All kinds of chests.
Repairing armor. Time for some good old-fashioned fun.
This is the Frozen Cemetery Forge. Coming out of Frozen Cemetery with a pretty decent loadout here. No one to fight early game though. Are these guys teaming? Look at these teaming guys. Wow. Imagine teaming in a solos match. Get reported. Number 4, Trinity Hills. Unlike our last entry, Trinity Hills is a bit more pleasing to the eye. This small village of houses surrounds a forge up on a hill. With only a couple ways to get into said forge, it's possible to hold down the location defensively fairly effective. The loot here seems to be mid to high tier. If you're lucky enough to get a purple burst rifle or better and gather a couple early game elims, you should be nearly set for a long-term game. But be careful while you're on the outskirts of the forge, as anyone above you has a clear advantage. For these reasons, Trinity Hills finds its way to number 4. Trinity Hills, baby, let's do this. Got him. Oh yeah. Trinity Hills Forge, let's go. Nice couple bridges leading up to the forge here.
The fog sets in.
Wow, okay. No wonder that guy didn't want to fight me. Oops, someone's here. Number 3, Crossing. Are you looking for a high elimination game with a chaotic start? Crossing is the landing spot for you. Within the walls of Crossing, you can expect to run into 8 to 10 or even more enemies in a solo match. This loot is fairly decent, and the forge is easily accessible from all directions, so you best watch your back. The castle holds lots of good little hiding spots to heal up after taking some early game damage, then get back into the fight. Overall, Crossing is a great place to land, but you better not be asleep at the controls upon landing. Crossing has dropped in at number 3. Okay, this is the aerial view of the number 3 area, Crossing. Oh God. Talk about chaotic start. Number 2, Jade Gardens. The same can be said for Jade Gardens as I said about Crossing. You're pretty much guaranteed a few early game fights and some fairly good loot. The forge can be accessed from all directions once again. So what made me put Jade higher on the list than Crossing? Well, for me, it's looks and aesthetics. The Asian style buildings and overall feel of the area are just more pleasing to me. This forced me to put the gorgeous Jade Gardens at number 2. Look at the beautiful aerial of our number 2 selection, Jade Gardens. Beautiful, gorgeous. This place is absolutely stunning. Visually pleasing. Got him. This place is, look at this fountain right in the middle here. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Very wide open forge though. 2 big archways on 3 out of the 4 sides. Makes for some pretty intense fights sometimes. Plus that high ground over there. I'll take that, thank you. Get out of here. Let's go. Whoops. Oh my. That's good stuff. Why didn't you use that? 4 kills and a real good loadout coming out of Jade Gardens. You'll love to see it. Honorable mentions. Guntown. A nice place to land every so often. Guntown provides you with all the weaponry needed to come out on top and capture a nice crown royale. However, the amount of enemy players landing here is sparse, giving the early game a tad of boredom. However, if you're looking to loot your gear in relative peace, Guntown might be the place for you. Cold Mist Village and Valley. I chose to lump these 2 locations into one for a few reasons. They're very close to one another, making a double forge very easy. The horseback ride from one to the other can be done in less than a minute. The early game fights are comparably less than other areas mentioned, and the loot seems to be low to mid tier. I was forced to leave these locations off the countdown. Our final honorable mention spot goes to Northport. Northport is one of my personal favorite places to land. Lots of good loot, a dependable, defendable forge. The problem with Northport is that there's nothing really that special about it, and for that reason, it stays off the top 5. It's time for number 1, guys. Thanks again for watching this far. Leave a comment down below of your favorite places to land when dropping out of the Zephyrin realm, and we'll catch you in the next video. The number 1 place to land in Realm Royale is Lumber Fall. Located in the middle of the entire map, Lumber Fall usually finds its way into the first circle. This gives you time to find the loot you need and take those early game fights. The chest locations aren't exactly plentiful, but with a couple drops you can likely find where your favorite ones are. Mine are located in the house just north of the catapult that I call Big Beige. The forge can be a little tricky at times, having two wide open sides and an entrance on the roof. But if you can survive the first few engagements, and there's usually quite a few, you'll be fully set up for the rest of the game. With a little fog luck, you won't even have to move. My current kill record game was at Lumberfall, start and finish. The enemies just had to keep pushing towards me, and I ended the game with 23 elims. Link to that video will be down in the description below. And by far the best vantage point and high ground is just north of the forge, known as Heaven, by quite a few Realm Royale community members, streamers, and YouTubers. For these reasons, Lumberfall is the best landing location in the game. This is a perfect first circle for our number one spot, Lumberfall. Oh, this is why I love Big Beige. Got him.
Repairing armor.
Barely. Get back here.
Not yet.
Got him. Oh God.
You bring shame to
You bring shame to
your allies.
your allies, bub. Buff me? Oh, he's coming around that corner.
Where is the challenge?
Shards at maximum. Let's go see the Lumberfall Forge. See what I mean? There's two doors, two giant doors. And there's an entrance from the ceiling here. Makes it a little tricky sometimes. And this area here is what it effectively is called Heaven. As you can see, the vantage point is pretty dang good.